A lawsuit has been filed in New York alleging that Donald Trump raped a 13-year-old girl over 20 years ago in New York City. This lawsuit has been filed Monday, and to which he has yet to answer. His campaign has said it's ridiculous, but this involves Jeffrey Epstein, he of the infamous sex slave island and his private plane. We've talked.
Pedophile.
Yeah, convicted. We've talked about him. He's well connected to a lot of high power, high money people, and he's had this island where he's flown people in for dalliances with a variety of underage women, and a lot of names have been pulled into that conversation as well. So now Donald Trump being named in this lawsuit tied to him, and that these parties took place at Jeffrey Epstein's house, and he procured the young girl.
So, but the young girl obviously hasn't been named. It's been filed by a Jane Doe.
Right. She's not naming herself, but she is the one filing the lawsuit, a lawyer on her behalf. She says that she had been found at the Port Authority bus terminal in New York City by Jeffrey Epstein. He basically approached her there and lured her in. Port Authority bus terminal in New York City is the place, especially at that time, very seedy, 42nd Street and 8th Avenue, where all the porn movie theaters were, and that is where runaways would go to on the Greyhound bus. And so predators would find people at risk there. And so this is where she says that he picked her up, took her to a party on East 71st Street where Donald Trump allegedly raped her.
I'm curious as to know why this is coming up just at this time now. The timing of it seems to be a little bit too convenient, I have to say. Not to discount these allegations out of hand and not to discount this lawsuit out of hand, but it does seem to me the timing seems a little too convenient.
It's politically opportunistic, and it sounds like something Jeffrey Epstein would do. It doesn't pass the smell test for Trump. We know that Trump, he typically goes after pedigreed women in their 20s, not necessarily. I mean, it doesn't, I call bullshit, Mark. I don't think it's true.
Okay, well, here's her allegation, and this is what she's saying. Take it for what you will, but the reason that she says that she's waited this long was because he threatened her and her family with harm and even death. This is what Emma Whitford from Gothamist said in her column about it. Monday's complaint details extremely violent and horrific alleged encounters between Trump and Doe, in which Doe's attorneys describe as a savage sexual attack. Trump allegedly tied her to a bed and exposed himself before raping her. When she pleaded that he stop, Trump allegedly responded by violently striking plaintiff in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted, according to the suit. Now, it goes on to say, these are the allegations in the lawsuit. Take them for what you will. She goes on to say, this is Emma Whitford from The Gothamist, says, afterwards, Trump allegedly threatened the plaintiff, saying that her family would be physically harmed, if not killed, if she were to speak about the abuses. Epstein allegedly proceeded to rape Doe twice more, attempted to strike her, and screamed that he, rather than Trump, should have taken her virginity. Epstein also allegedly reiterated threats to Doe's family. So why would she make it up?
I'm not saying that somebody's making up an assault. I'm saying that, in this specific case, perhaps you could see how Jeffrey Epstein, this convicted pedophile, whose story was broken originally by Virginia Roberts, a young woman that he had groomed to pass around to wealthy friends. That's believable. It's too politically opportunistic. It's too, the motivation behind this now is weird.
Well, when it comes to somebody alleging rape and alleging this kind of abuse,
you have the right to face an accuser in court. So if this ever, honestly, if this case continues, she'll have a name and a face and a very public persona, because you can't accuse somebody of something so heinous. People have the right to confront an accuser in this country.
Right.
So,
is there any indication that Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were acquaintances at this time?
Yes, it's on record that they have been acquaintances. Now, the interesting thing about this, the scandal about his sex slave island, which Bill Clinton has been mentioned in regards to, Donald Trump hasn't taken advantage of those rumors, those wins, right. And it's curious about why he hasn't. And it may be that because he himself has this same association.
Right, so the inference is the skeletons in the closet, because he has indicated in the past, to Donald Trump this is, that he would reference Bill Clinton's indiscretions, and has made no secret of the fact, or has made great, or sought to make great political capital out of the fact that Hillary Clinton, he sees her as an enabler because she forgave Bill Clinton for his indiscretions and for his adultery with Monica Lewinsky in the White House. But you're right to mention the fact that he hasn't gone down the path of making any political capital, seeking to make taking any advantage out of the association that Bill Clinton has with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, and I'm curious though why the woman who in detail explains the encounter in her accusation in this court document, why you would jump to the immediate conclusion that she must be lying, and that he should have the right to defend himself. Shouldn't she have the right to have her complaint heard if it's true? It's past the statute of limitations in terms of criminal.
So she's seeking to bring a civil suit.
Yes. Now I could only suspect what a motive might be beyond purely political. Partisan, if one looks at somebody as a threat so great that they would do anything to put them out of office, this might be a reason to speak out in a case that went past the statute of limitations. Mm-hmm. She's not asking for a great settlement or anything. So she's bringing this up. I just don't. I personally don't think that you should, that one should jump to the conclusion that she must be making it up.
No, it's going to be interesting to see how Trump responds and what suits he files, or what his response will be.
Didn't his people?
His campaign is sort of given a blanket denial.
Right. But he will have to, regardless, he'll have to file some kind of countersuit or some kind of defense at some point formally with the court. So
they're very specific charges. And very serious charges. And so, yeah, they will have to be dealt with in court. And so we'll keep you updated on the case.